Stay right there, because in the next few minutes, I am going to break down something that has the entire NFL world talking. And trust me, you do not want to miss a single second of this, because by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why this potential trade is not just big news. It is potentially the biggest 49ers story of the entire offseason. Let's go. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because we cover San Francisco 49ers news every single day. And today, we have something that is absolutely massive. I mean, when I first saw this come across my feed this morning, I had to put my coffee down, sit back in my chair, and just take a breath. Because if this goes through, if this actually happens, the NFL landscape shifts in a very real, very serious way. And I promise you, by the time we get to the end of this video, you are going to see exactly why the pieces fit together in a way that almost seems too perfect. So grab your snacks, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Now, before I dive in, I want to be upfront with you all, because this channel has always been about giving you real talk, no fluff, no clickbait nonsense. And what we're discussing today is a developing situation. There is genuine buzz. There are credible voices in league circles talking about this. And we are going to break it all down piece by piece, layer by layer, so you understand not just what is being reported, but why this makes sense, and what it could mean for the 49ers going into this season. And stick with me here, because I have saved the most jaw-dropping part of this entire story for later in the video, and I guarantee it is going to hit different once you hear the full picture. So here's the situation. There have been rumblings, and these rumblings are getting louder by the day, that the San Francisco 49ers are actively exploring a trade for a wide receiver currently on the Buffalo Bills roster. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. We've heard trade rumors before. They never go anywhere. But this one feels different. The timing is different. The context is different. The urgency is different. And when you start connecting the dots, it becomes very hard to ignore. Keep watching, because in about 2 minutes, I am going to show you the exact reason why both teams actually need this trade to happen, and that changes everything. Let's start with where the 49ers are right now as an organization. Kyle Shanahan runs one of the most creative, most dynamic offensive systems in the entire NFL. Nobody questions that. The man is a genius with route concepts, motion schemes, and putting his skilled players in positions to absolutely feast on defenses. But here's the thing, and this is the part that a lot of analysts are sleeping on right now. For that system to truly operate at its absolute ceiling, you need weapons. You need multiple dangerous weapons that defensive coordinators have to account for on every single snap. And right now, heading into this season, there are legitimate questions about the depth and the reliability of San Francisco's wide receiver room. Questions that this potential trade answers almost perfectly. But hold on, we're going to get to exactly why it answers those questions in just a moment. So do not touch that screen. Deebo Samuel is obviously a key piece of this offense. When Deebo is healthy and locked in, he is genuinely one of the most unique offensive weapons in the entire league. The man plays half the time out of the backfield. He gets jet sweep carries. He lines up in the slot. He can take it to the house from anywhere on the field. But we also know Deebo has dealt with injury concerns over his career. That's not a knock on him. That's just reality. And when Deebo has been limited or sidelined, the 49ers have at times really struggled to find that consistent second and third option that Shanahan's offense demands. And this, right here, is the gap that has quietly been the biggest vulnerability of this entire team. A vulnerability that the right Bills receiver fills immediately. And I am going to show you the numbers that prove it. His situation has had more twists and turns than a Netflix drama, and wherever that ultimately lands, the 49ers need to make sure they have enough firepower around their quarterback to compete with the best teams in the NFC and beyond. Now here is where I need you to really pay attention, because this is where the Bills connection stops being a rumor and starts being a chess move that makes complete organizational sense for both sides. Let's talk about the Buffalo Bills for a second, because understanding their situation is just as important as understanding San Francisco's, and honestly, their side of this story is even more interesting than most people realize. The Bills are in a fascinating spot right now. They are absolutely Josh Allen's team. They have made aggressive moves to strengthen certain areas of their roster, and in doing so, there may be players, talented players, proven players, players with real NFL production, who simply no longer fit what Buffalo needs going forward. Players who represent trade value that the Bills can convert into something they need far more urgently. And that urgency on Buffalo's side is exactly what could make this deal happen faster than anyone expects. Stay with me, because this next part is where everything clicks into place. Wide receiver is a fascinating position on that Bills roster because in an offense that features a lot of Josh Allen improvisation, heavy usage of tight ends, and explosive plays created by Allen himself outside the pocket, sometimes a talented wide receiver can get a little lost in the shuffle. Not because he is not good enough, but because the system and the personnel around him limit his opportunity. And when you have a receiver with genuine NFL-level talent who is simply not getting the opportunity he deserves in his current situation, that creates exactly the kind of trade market dynamic that smart organizations like the 49ers have learned to identify and exploit. And Kyle Shanahan? He has built his entire career on identifying exactly those kinds of players. This is not an accident. This is a pattern. Here's what makes the schematic fit so compelling. And this is the part one promised you earlier. So pay close attention because this is where it gets really fun. Kyle Shanahan's offense loves receivers who can do multiple things. He loves guys who are sudden, who have good yards after catch ability, who can work the middle of the field and create separation at the top of their routes. He loves guys who can line up in multiple spots and force defensive coordinators to make a decision before the snap. Do you follow this guy? Or do you stay in your base alignment and trust your corners? The more uncomfortable you can make a defensive coordinator before the ball is even snapped, the more explosive plays you are going to create after it is. And if the receiver the 49ers are targeting from the Bills fits that profile, and there is genuine reason to believe he does, then this is not just addition by addition for San Francisco. This is addition that multiplies the effectiveness of everything else around it. And that multiplication effect is what separates good offenses from truly terrifying offenses. Think about what this does for Brock Purdy. And this is the angle that I do not think enough people are talking about yet. Brock Purdy has been one of the great stories in recent NFL history. The last pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant, becoming a legitimate starting quarterback and leading this franchise deep into the playoffs. People want to debate how much of that is Purdy and how much is Shanahan. And honestly, that debate is tired and silly. Great quarterback play and a great system are not mutually exclusive. They enhance each other. But what nobody debates is that Purdy is at his absolute best when he has a full complement of weapons around him. When he can go through his progressions, find the open man quickly, and when defenses simply cannot cheat toward any one receiver. Add another legitimate weapon to this offensive room, and you make Brock Purdy's job noticeably easier. And you make an already dangerous offense something that opposing defensive coordinators are going to lose sleep over on Saturday nights. Keep watching, because what I am about to tell you about the trade compensation structure is something that might genuinely surprise you. Now let's talk about what the 49ers might have to give up to get this done, because trades do not happen in a vacuum, and I know that is what a lot of you are sitting there wondering about right now. San Francisco would presumably need to put together a package that makes sense for Buffalo. That could involve draft capital. The 49ers have been pretty aggressive in recent years with how they use their picks, and they have shown a clear and consistent willingness to move picks when they believe a move genuinely improves their championship window. It could also involve a player coming back the other way, a swap that helps both teams address specific roster needs simultaneously and makes the financial structure of the deal work cleanly for both sides. The exact details of any deal like this would obviously need to satisfy both front offices, and right now we do not have every confirmed detail on what shape that would take. But here is the thing that matters. The fact that there is mutual interest being discussed, that people around the league are aware of these conversations, tells you that at minimum, both organizations have had real dialogue. And real dialogue in the NFL offseason means real possibility. The fan reaction to this news, by the way, has been absolutely unhinged, and I mean that in the best possible way. Social media has been going absolutely crazy since this started gaining traction. 49ers fans are fired up in every direction. Some are excited beyond belief, screaming that this is the missing piece. Some are nervous and cautious about what it might cost to get it done. And some are in full-on, I'll believe it when I see it mode, which honestly, after years of NFL trade rumors, is a completely fair way to live your life. But the overall energy in the fan base right now is electric. And that electricity tells you something real about how hungry this team's supporters are to see the organization make the bold, aggressive, win-now move that pushes them over the top. Because that is what this is really about at the end of the day. And this is the point I want you to take away from everything.